Exactly 6 months ago today, I made a video talking about how I think it's going to be 1 year from that point until I really start to see the fruition of all this hard work. Well, since it's been 6 months since then, I wanted to guys give you like a halfway update, show you where the game is at, and where I'm really excited where things are trending. First thing is obviously the full swing. Now that's been the bulk of the work over the past couple of years and where I've spent the majority of my effort. Now here is the swing I just hit on the 10th tee here at Cultus. This is my first hole of the day. I haven't really warmed up, coming straight out of the car. Now that shot has gone over these trees. That's with a 4-iron. Again, straight out the vehicle, no warm up, nothing. And now we're on for eagle. And I would say being able to hit my long iron super high and be stable, as you can see in that swing, has been one of the biggest gains over the past couple months, which is now allowing me to take more advantage of scoring opportunities such as this. Now, as you guys saw from that first swing, it's just so much more stable and so much more fluid. My turn is bigger, I'm able to hold it here, and I'm able to just really get down and rotate through and use all of my body. Now, that's come from just being absolutely militant on my workouts, being able to work so much on my hips now. I used to get pain from turning this much, and especially on my left side. Now I can turn no problem, and I can hold this position without even thinking. Also, being able to hold my arms out and wide. I had a tendency to get really narrow and bunched up, which obviously is not a good sign. And then the other piece too is being able to come down, create space with my core, and release the club down the line as opposed to pulling my release. I had a bad habit of kind of coming through and kind of pulling my release. And if you look at old videos of me, it's kind of how I used to hit a cut. And I didn't even realize I was doing this as much either. So I've been really militant on that and just getting my body to a certain place. The other thing that's helped a lot is I've switched shoes. I finally found shoes that make me feel stable. If you also saw old videos of me, I looked a bit like Bambi out there. I've since switched to using cricket shoes on the golf course for the last 5 months. I'm gonna do a separate video on that. Also, if you listen to my podcast, coming up in episode 2, which if it isn't out already, it'll be in the description below. I talk about the cricket shoes and their impact on my stability and being able to use the ground more efficiently. The combination of all those things has led to much, much better results, which leads, confidence to me wanting to pull driver on a hole like this, considering, I haven't really warmed up, and I historically probably would have just hit a hybrid and bunted it out there. All right, now that we're a little more loose after a couple swings, let's see if we can kind of showcase how good the 3-wood is right now as a result of, kind of all that extra stability and all that extra power taking on a hole like this, which is, a short 4, or, if I were to look at it like a full golf course, this would be like having, my second shot in on a par 5. And so I look at, how do I take advantage of holes like this? The whole purpose of having the power and having the speed is being able to take on these types of challenges. So, see if we can answer the bell here. Oh yeah. Oh, that is cutting so well. Probably just short of the bunker. And what's really cool to have this like 6-month snapshot now is I can get a sense of if I'm implementing the right things and making the right changes. And for the first time in my game, and this is what made me realize that it's going to take, another year of this development, is just how long it takes for the body to adapt and to make swing changes. I just knew that I wasn't ready to implement these mechanics under the gun at any sort of high level. You know, even at a basic level, they were a struggle sometimes. Especially, you know, walking up to tee shots like this. This is where you can really separate yourself if you have the skills. And I just knew I didn't have them yet, but I knew I could get there. And the swing was on the right path. It's just the consistency of going to the well every day and building in those good habits. What's exciting now is I just feel like so much less of an idiot on the golf course as a result. One of the things I really struggled with through the entire swing chase process is you just sometimes feel like such an idiot because you just can't make certain things happen. And it's for a whole host of reasons. But it's such a nice, refreshing thing for the mental game now to, one, accept the fact that it's going to take time, and that's been nice over the past 6 months. So building in that patience has been huge. But then two, seeing the reward of that patience adds just extra fuel to the fire. And I would say mental game wise, this has been the best I've ever been as a result, because I just have such a sense of calm going about this process. All right, we'll do one more full swing here, and then I'll show you some of the other stuff. But this is another tricky par 3 here, which requires, you know, pretty militant tee shot. And I feel like this is always a good judge of ball striking capability, because a par here is a phenomenal score on this hole, always. Just a little more fade than I wanted, but totally fine. We're gonna cover that bunker. It'll just be a bit of a longer putt, but not an issue. And so as we wrap up the full swing, as you guys can see, it's just so much more stable and so much better. So now what is 6 months from now? You know, when you look at some of the previous swings here, right? Like kind of what I was saying earlier, I look like Bambi. I don't look stable, but you can see the beginnings of what could be good. And it's nice to see now that it's much better, much stronger. My positions through impact are so much better. What 6 months from now of now knowing what I can do and shooting some low scores and starting to really pick up that part of my game, that further development is what I was hoping for when I made that initial prediction 6 months ago. And this is what's great, is to finally see some of those affirmations and positive feedback from the game, as opposed to this constant loop I've been in of, you know, every time I solve one problem, a new one would arise. It feels like the problems become much more manageable now. And you know what, that shot, I'll take this shot on any pin on this green. I'll take any green and reg on this green from that tee box. Especially if you get a little bit of wind through here, it can get really weird. But I realize I haven't really shown you guys much putts yet, so let me show you a putt, and then we'll get back to all the goods. With the full swing cooking as it is, you know, my hope is that in 6 months, I will have a really solid foundation to begin going after my +6 handicap goal and my road to pro. I know up to this point, I just haven't had the raw tools in my arsenal with my swing and everything to even make that a reality. And so I really feel like I'll have that foundation coming up. Now with that, to build on that, obviously the focus has been so much on the full swing, but there are 2 other areas of my game that I've been really grinding on in the background to round that out and become more of a well-rounded finesse player. Now, a big area of focus right now for off-season 4 is pitching, chipping, and overall just wedge shots. This shot right here in particular has always been kind of a scary one for me, right? Because it requires finesse. All the advantages I have of having speed and power in my full swing really don't mean anything when it comes to wedges. It is such a different motion. And so my coach and I have worked a lot on just really simplifying, you know, being stronger now through my full swing has helped though, because the core strength required to really do this right and keep the motion simple actually does take a significant amount of core strength. But it's just really making it an efficient, simple motion. And I know I keep saying simple, and that's just, you know, the overarching theme of what I'm trying to do, because I'm not trying to do too much, because doing too much has never really yielded good results for me. That's okay, you know, that's long. Like I would say again, this is kind of why this is a problem area. Like I need to learn on how to get more finesse out of this part of my game. Let's see if we can hit another one here. A little better, both makeable putts, but again, I'm not where I need to be with this, and this is going to take a lot of my time. And here's another shot I'm going to be working on a ton, and this is, you know, the 70-yard wedge shot, right? I'm going to have a lot of these because of my driver distance, and just naturally, you know, where I end up on courses, I end up having a lot of these kind of shots. This shot in particular has always been a scary shot for me because, again, like I said in the previous segment with chipping, this has nothing to do with my full swing, right? All my advantages of speed and power don't help me here. So I've been working a lot with my coach to, again, kind of expand that chipping motion to make something that works for the wedges here that, again, is just more about finesse and less about power and speed. Oh, that was actually really good. First take, let's go. All right, well, if we're gonna throw darts, we gotta at least try and make the putt. Probably should have cleaned the ball, oh well. It's gonna be fine. Let's go. So the final piece that brings all this together really is that this is the first off season I've started where it's not about the putter to begin with. I've started every off season trying to solve the putter, and I don't have to do that, which is just phenomenal, because that's such a mental load off your plate when you know that you're going to be able to cash some putts, right? Like, it's going to be able to get you out of some sticky situations, and you're going to be able to take advantage of scoring opportunities. And this is the first time ever where I don't have to worry about that. Oh, come on. Play these last two holes with me. Let's finish off strong before we end the video. We've got 2 par 3s left. This one's 108 yards. We're going sand wedge here. It's got to go just a little bit. Just short. Probably should putt this, but I want to chip it to just get some extra chipping reps in. Not bad. All right, we got 150 to a front pin. We're going with 8-iron because there's always a weird wind here, and I find you need to club up, especially in the winter. Summer maybe not, but definitely at this time of year. So going with a nice 8-iron, front pin. It's a nice cut. Oh, that's right at it. Oh, very nice. It landed here and then spun off the green. So it's all right. But you know what? It gives us another opportunity to work on our chipping, which is great because we need plenty of that for this off season. Well, should have taken the putter on that one. Oh well. Well guys, hopefully you enjoyed that video. Hopefully that gave you some insight as to what I've been working on the past 6 months and what my goal is for, you know, the next 6 months, and specifically this off season right now. This is what I'm grinding on every single day. So hope you enjoyed it. I'm gonna go keep practicing until the sun goes down. Hope you have a wonderful day, and I will catch you on the next one. Peace.